I am live. So let me go post the link on our page. The page is denverguitarorchestra.com. And that is where you will find all of the sheet music for today's activity and how to get a hold of me and all that good stuff. So go there and let's play some fingerstyle guitar, shall we? All right, update and then update. So let me make sure that that's updating correctly, and then we'll get started. I'm behind by a long shot today, and so update. Whoops, didn't need to hit that again. I need to hit this page. Let's make sure that the link is working properly. There we go. Okay, good. Look how lovely the lighting is in here today. All right, so we'll give them a minute to get in and get set down, and then I will tell everybody what's going on with our new song. To ukulele, and let's go into guitar. Yeah, we've got 3 Blind Mice, which is the hard one in level 1. So that's we have 7 levels in the Denver Guitar program, denverguitarorchestra.com program. We have 7 levels. The first 3 are educational, the last 4 are brain damage levels. So level 1 is 1-chord songs, and we're going to be doing 3 Blind Mice today. That's the last one in level 1, and it's the hardest one in level 1. And then level 2 is 2-chord songs, and I think we got 25 or something of those. And we're going to be doing, what are we doing today? I can't remember. We are doing Mary Had a Little Lamb, which everybody wants to play Mary Had a Little Lamb. It is hugely popular. And then Plaisir d'Amour is actually Can't Help Falling in Love with You from Elvis. He fancied up Plaisir d'Amour. He actually dumbed it down a little bit, so we'll play that today. And then our level 4 song, our stretch piece, that's not public domain, is called Remember Me. It's a song from Coco, the Disney Pixar movie. Absolutely beautiful song. Have it all done, just don't have it out to the peeps today. And so as soon as we're done here, we won't play it today. As soon as we're done here, I'll know who wants to have it, and I'll send it to you, and everything will be lovely. So that's where we're at today. We'll have a shorter lesson today just because we're not going to do the level 4 song. We're just going to go get ready for it. Vicky is here. Sound is good. It's lovely. Thank you, Vicky. Vicky is from Eugene, Oregon, which is very exciting. Evelyn is here. She's from Cuenca, Ecuador. When she's got a way better guitar than I have, so I'm sure she is down there sounding way better than the rest of us, and we're a little jealous. I play a handmade parlor-sized guitar that I had made a few years back. It is. It's okay. It's okay. It's not a great guitar. It's not a terrible guitar. It stays in tune for the most part, and it's small enough where it fits onto the YouTube screen, right? And I prefer playing a smaller guitar because I'm not trying to impress the world with how big of a guitar I have. I think bigger guitars have definitely better sound, generally speaking, but in terms of playability, that it goes way down real fast when it gets bigger than you are. And so I ended up getting a parlor-sized one made. It's about 7/8 size, nice guitar. Let's see. And Vicky's playing a Dreadnought, which is I have never met Vicky face to face, but if she's 6'6", it's the right size guitar for her. Otherwise, it's not. A lot of times people give you a Dreadnought guitar because they went to Guitar Center, and the guy, there's a 22-year-old boy there who is working at a guitar shop on purpose, and he you walk in and you say, well, I don't want an electric guitar, I want an acoustic guitar. And he says, okay, I'll show you what you want. And he goes over and he gets a Dreadnought off the wall because it's the biggest and it sounds the best, and it's $500. And so that's the guitar you end up with. And it's not the right size guitar for most people. You gotta, Dreadnoughts are absolutely beautiful sounding, but you really need to be a fairly large person to play one. That doesn't mean you can't play it. It just means that it's just one more thing that's more difficult for you when you are playing guitar. And so we're trying always to make things easier rather than harder. But it's not that it's a terrible idea to play a Dreadnought. My microphone's way up there for some reason. we would love to play a dreadnought. I'd love to play. I have a beautiful dreadnought that absolutely sounds amazing, but I just don't find it particularly enjoyable to play because it's too darn big. So, um, so before we get too far, the song for the week, Remember Me, guys, I do have it done, and if you are ready for a level 4 song, I will absolutely send it to you. Just toss me an email and say, hey, I'd like to get started on Remember Me. We'll probably spend 2 or 3 weeks on it, so so getting started on it sooner will be obviously a good thing. And it's a pretty challenging arrangement. It's a beautiful song, but it does not fit onto the fretboard particularly well. So I had to make a number of playability issues with it, and I like my final result. I just think that it's going to be a lot of work. So I think it's going to be worth the work, I hope, but I'll get it out to you guys that want it. Just make sure you toss me an email. We don't just hand out the level 4 stuff. We have a procedure so that I can keep track of who has it. And it's always the good stuff, right? We want the good stuff we want you to have the good stuff. I want you to be able to play the good stuff. But I also don't want it just floating around the internet willy-nilly. So, all right, let's go into book 1. Last week we spent a lot of time killing row, row, row boat. This week, same story. It seemed to work pretty well last week. It was Evelyn's idea. Hey, let's do more than one song a day. So we're doing levels 1, 2, 3, and 4 every single day. And so today we're going to do levels 1, 2, and 3, and then I'm going to email you level 4 if you want it. And then, but you got to send me an email first to let me know you want it. And then all this week we'll play the same 4 songs. So 3 Blind Mice, Mary Had a Little Lamb, Plaisir d'Amour, which is a nice song, by the way, level 3. And then Remember Me. All right, 3 Blind Mice. Let's go through the chords. And if you are truly level 1, G chord is going to be your hard one. Okay, index finger, 5th string, 2nd fret. Middle finger, top string, 3rd fret, and bottom string, ring finger, 1st string, 3rd fret. Okay. That's a lot. When you are brand new, this chord is a bummer, right? I'm not saying it ever gets to be not a bummer. It does get better, but it's definitely a tough one. And so we're going to talk about 3 different ways to make this G chord. And in fact, the 3rd way that we learn to make it will be the way that we play it for this song, but the way I generally don't think that you're going to be playing G chord, okay? So the standard issue 100% normal way to play a G chord: index finger, middle finger, ring finger. Okay, that's how we do it. Now, there will become a point when you can do this fairly well, and you're going to want to spice it up a little bit. You're going to take your ring finger, you're going to move it up to the 2nd string, same fret, but on the 2nd string. And then on the 1st string, you're going to put your pinky finger on there on the 3rd fret of the 1st string. Get a little more punchy G chord out of it. Got a little bit more oomph on the bottom. This gives you just a little bit prettier sound, I think. And when I'm watching television and I see a guitar player who knows what they're doing, most of the time they're grabbing this G chord. That's the one. It just has a really nice feeling to it. I will tell you that when I first started playing guitar, this wasn't happening. Okay? And if it isn't happening, you can absolutely just play these 2 strings and don't touch these top 2 strings and play the 4 down. You don't even need to do that. You could just hit 1 string there and just play those 4 strings. But ultimately, you want to be able to do the full part or the full shape, right? Either with just your ring finger, or your ring and pinky there. Either one of those is acceptable. Okay. There's a 3rd way to make a G chord, and that's where we're going to put the ring finger here, middle finger here. Okay, so middle, ring, and then just put your pinky down there. Okay, now when you first do it, this is like, ow. I don't like that. But there's a reason why, and if you like singing and you like folk music, this is the good G chord you're going to get good at. Because then from here, you can get to a C chord really conveniently. There's going to be, and we haven't talked about C chord on level 1 at all. We don't, because it's too hard. It's a level 2 chord. You can take this G chord add your index finger on the first fret, second string, and then drop these two guys down. And now you have a C chord. And then you just go back. Put these two guys up and put that there. Okay. And the reason why in folk music we like that is you're going to play a lot of songs in the key of C. Well, if you got, this is your G chord, and then there's C chords right there. And if you drop these two one more time, you get a sort of a modified F chord. And then now you have the three principal chords in the key of C. So you can, with just moving these two guys around a little bit, and you've got a whole lot of music there. C chord, F chord, C chord, G chord, and C. So you end up with a pretty convenient way to play folk music with not a ton of motion over there by doing this sort of rather uncomfortable G-shaped chord. If you watch any type of awards show and they put up a couple of pretty little country singers, you'll see that shape happening all of the time. They usually have a capo about the fourth fret, and then you will see them playing this G chord. Capo here, they'll be playing the G chord here, a C chord here, and then that modified F chord, and it sounds fine, right? It just sounds fine. It's just it's a really convenient way for singers who don't intend to master the guitar to make guitar sounds to back up their singing. But for you guys that are legit instrumentalists, this is the G chord you want. Okay? And just to make your life more interesting, in level 2, we learn a chord called F, which is your first bar chord. It's very unpleasant. We can take that up to the 3rd fret. This is also a G chord here. So this is the G chord that you'll ultimately end up using the most of. Is that bar chord G. Dun, 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 dun. So that's coming too. Lots of ways to make lots of different shapes for every chord. And while we don't want in the beginning, and certainly not at level 1, for you to be thinking, oh God, I got to do that down the road. By the time you're ready for that, you're ready for this. And so it's not near as scary as it's going to be, as it feels right now. Really, this is the chord we want. And most of the time when I make a G, I make that shape. Okay. 3 Blind Mice is in 4. We know that because as we look at the top up there by chords and lyrics, we see the treble clef, and then we see quarter note equals 80, and then we see 4/4. And the pound sign there is only important if you read standard notation sheet music, which we don't tend to teach in this environment because we have tablature. And so we use the standard notation to tell us how long notes are supposed to be, but we don't necessarily care what's sharps and flats because the tablature takes care of that for us. Okay. All right, G chord. 4 beats in a measure. Let's go through it once, just with thumb down. 1, 2, 3, 4. 3 blind mice. 3 blind mice. See how they run. See how they run. They all went after the farmer's wife. She cut off their tails with a carving knife. Have you ever seen such a sight in your life as 3 blind mice? 2, 3, 4. Okay, so there's 4 beats in every measure. I just did thumb. Now let's take this finger and let's go down, up, 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 down. 3 blind mice. 3 blind mice. See how they run. See how they run. They all went after the farmer's wife. She cut off their tails with a carving knife. Have you ever seen such a sight in your life as 3 blind mice? Okay, so what we're doing there is we're double timing it. We're doing 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4, and that creates a lot more energy and a lot more excitement within each measure. And sometimes that's appropriate and sometimes it's not. In this case, it probably is appropriate. These mice are running around being chased by the farmer's wife, and so a little bit more energy makes a lot of sense in there. Next thing, take these 4 fingers. Pick any 4 strings you want. I might recommend putting your thumb on the top string and these 3 fingers on the bottom strings, okay? But you can also put them together or use the upper ones. Anything that you feel comfy with, get your chord on, okay? Pick any 4 strings you want. 1, 2, 3, 4. 3 blind mice. 3 blind mice. See how they run. See how they run. They all went after the farmer's wife. She cut off their tails with a carving knife. Have you ever seen such a sight in your life as 3 blind mice? Okay, so what I'm doing there, in this case, my thumb happened to be on the G string. It's an E string, but I've converted it to a G string by putting my middle finger there. And then the other ones are grabbing the higher pitch notes just because they sound pretty. Okay, and now I'm just going to be using this little claw technique, which is a technique that when you get into level 2 and certainly level 3 and 4, where you have to have your claw in shape. And so getting started early on with that claw is going to be really valuable. Last thing we're going to try an arpeggio pattern. This time I want thumb, index, middle, ring. Again, does not matter which strings you pick. I'd probably pick strings next to each other. Thumb, index, middle, ring. Thumb, index, middle, ring. Thumb, index. Notice I'm not moving my right arm at all, just my hand. And really the only thing that's moving is my knuckles. 4, thumb, index, middle, ring. 3 blind mice. 2, 3, 4. 3 blind mice. See how they run. See how they run. They all went after the farmer's wife. She cut off their tail with a carving knife. Have you ever seen such a sight in your life as 3 blind mice? 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. So again, we've only held this one chord this entire time we've been talking, but we've done so many different things with this hand, and you can see how that ends up affecting the overall feeling within the song, and you get to decide. Nobody gets to decide that for you, which is the best way to do 3 Blind Mice or whatever song you happen to be playing. So we took that G chord and we turned it into lots of different music based on how we handled our right hand, and that's a big takeaway in all of fretted instrument play, is that this determines what type of music comes out, but this determines what the music's going to do. In other words, the music comes from here, the quality of the music comes from there, but this is going to tell you what the notes are. This is going to tell you what the notes do. And so your right hand is very, very, very important, and so often when you take guitar lessons, they'll just put a pick over here, right? And then that eliminates all of the choices you have because you can only do one string at a time when you have a pick. And that's why in fingerstyle, we just throw the pick away. We don't need that, okay? Because it limits you in a lot of ways. There are some styles where flat picking is a thing, as flat picking, and most notably, and it's fine. They're loud and they're very specific, and there are times, certainly on electric guitar, where you would want that exact thing to happen. But in acoustic guitar, if you have a pick in your hand, you can't do some of the stuff we just did. So the question is, do you want to hang on to that pick or not? And in fingerstyle and classical music, they said, no, get rid of the pick. We'd rather have more choices. The arpeggio sounds nice, is Vicky's comment. Absolutely, right? What will happen especially if you like singing, if you can get your arpeggios together, you'll never play strumming again because it makes you sound so much more sophisticated. You're still just holding the chord, but it really makes you sound like a much better player than you are, which is kind of fun. Okay. Or you may be that good of a player. I don't know. All right, let's go on to the melody now. So we've learned that we've done a lot of work on the chord. That's not unimportant. Okay. Let's do the melody. If it's a 1, your finger is your index finger. If it's a 2, it's your middle finger. If it's a 3, it's your ring finger. There are no other notes. Okay. Okay. And then just make sure your thumb always stays right behind wherever your middle is, and just make sure your thumb's not coming up here. I have a tendency for my thumb to start sneaking up a little bit when I'm being lazy or when I'm not holding the guitar in proper posture, and it makes the job harder. Okay. If your thumb stays back here where it's supposed to be, hangs out right behind where the middle finger is, your job gets easier. Okay, and guitar is hard enough. Let's not do anything to add to the difficulties. From the top, nice and slow. 1, 2, 3, 4. 0, 2, 0, rest. 0, 2, 0, rest. 3, 1, 1, 0. 3, 1, 1, 0, 3. 3, 3, 2, 0, 2, 3, 3, 3, 3, 3, 3, 3, 2, 0, 2, 3, 3, 3, 3, 3, 3, 3, 2, 0, 2, 3, 3, 3, 3, 1, 0, 2, 0. Isn't that pretty? The nice part about playing melody is you can shut up, right? And especially with me, I don't work on my singing. I don't spend any time really trying to get proper breathing in and learning all the things I'm supposed to do as a singer. And so anytime I can shut my face up and have the guitar do the work for me, I'm in. Count me in. Let's play it one more time. Again, here's the nice part about this too. It doesn't matter what type of guitar you're using. Electric guitar, acoustic guitar, classical guitar, jazz guitar. It's always going to sound amazing because you're just one beautiful note at a time, and the guitars are set up to really do that very well. Okay, let's play it one more time. See if we can make it flawless. 1, 2, 3, 4. 0, 2, 0. 0, 2, 0. 3, 1, 1, 0. 3, 1, 1, 0. 3, 3, 3, 2, 0, 2, 3, 3, 3, 3, 3, 3, 3, 2, 0, 2, 3, 3, 3, 3, 3, 3, 3, 2, 0, 2, 3, 3, 3, 3, 1, 0, 2, 0. Beautiful, right? Really, really nice. If you are here in town and you're taking my group class and we're on level 1, that's all I care about. I care that you can play these melodies, all 4, 5, I think there's 5 melodies in the book. I need you to be able to play all 5 of them. And that's on night 4, that is our quiz, right? We have everybody just play through all of the songs together. We usually ask everybody to play one solo, and then we all play through all 5 songs together. And I'm checking to make sure everybody's understanding how to read the tablature and get a note out. If you want to learn how to read standard notation, you absolutely can do that. That's in the chords and lyric line, and all of those notes are sitting up there for you. It's B, A, G, B, A, G, D, C, C, B. Okay, so those notes are there if that's something you want to do. It is not necessary to learn guitar playing that way. You do not have to learn how to read standard notation. Doesn't hurt you. It's absolutely a good thing to know how to do, and something you want to put on your to-do list. But you don't have to learn how to read standard notation unless you're going to go into academic guitar. So if you're going to college for playing classical or jazz, that's the only thing they teach in academics. You'll have to know how to read standard notation. If you're not going there, then it's really up to you whether that is going to be a valuable use of your time or not. Every single song worth playing, we have tablature for these days. The lovely thing called software has made it very easy to get the kind of music that we need. And to be honest, tablature is a superior system for fretted instruments for the most part over standard notation. And I get a lot of people who get super nervous when I say that because they're pretty sure those dots up above should be better. They're more accepted in the musical industry, but in terms of if you want to learn to play a song, it's absolutely not necessary at all. And that includes even high level songs. You know, all of the great guitar pieces by the guitar masters are now in tablature, so it's completely up to you whether you learn that system or not. And tablature takes me 15 minutes to teach you, and it'll take you at least 2 years to get comfortable with standard notation. So again, you're talking about where do I want to put my time? Do I want to put my time into studying the paper, or do I want to spend time making music? And both of those things should not be exclusive necessarily. Now, when you're in town here, I don't expect you to play tough acts. When we're on YouTube, we always play tough acts. And so, again, if you are in my face-to-face classes, I'm going to play this for you. You guys, we're going to talk about this because you're sitting here and you'd like to know how to do it. The first thing with this is I teach you, here's the G chord, right? Then, in order to pull off this song successfully, you're going to have to use this G chord, okay? So your pinky's here. Ring finger up there, middle finger there. This is how you're going to have to do this in order to make this go well. Okay, so we're going to start with ring and middle finger up here. Play 5 strings. Okay, so now you're going to add your index finger on at the 2, and then you're going to take your index finger off. And your pinky's sitting over there on that 3, and then you do the same thing again. Pinky to the 2nd string. 2 ones. Pinky. Move your pinky over. Pinky. Drop your pinky to the 1st string. Index. 2, 0, 2. Back to your pinky. Pinky on the 2nd string. Top string. Pinky. Pinky on the 2nd string. 2 3s. Top string. 2. Pinky on the 3. 2nd string. And that 1. Opens at the 0, put your index on 2, and then 4 strings, open, and pinky. Okay, now right now my hand is screaming, okay, right here. All along here, it's just like, what are you doing? And it's because we don't typically play something this complicated with just one chord and rocking around the central idea there. So this would be one of those songs where we use it for academic purposes, but the chances of us playing this that way in real life is pretty small, right? But oops, I've got a hello. Hold on one sec. Yeah, come on in.
I just want to let you know we're done.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, thank you.
Have a great day. I appreciate it. I have a plumber here in the house, and they're replacing our main drains. And I knew at some point in the middle of the broadcast, the plumbers would be done. Or they'd ask me a question I didn't know the answer to. All right, so we got the plumbing taken care of. They're all done. We're in great shape. And 3 Blind Mice is done, and our hand is hurting, and things are going great. All right, so there's 3 Blind Mice. key of G and playing melody. Let's go move on to book 2. And our song for the week will be Mary Had a Little Lamb. And nice part about Mary Had a Little Lamb, very similar to London Bridges we did last week. In this case, we're going to go use the D chord as our first bass, and that's going to go to A. Okay, so we don't ever care what the next chord is, we just care how we got to get there. So you're holding the D chord, then we're going to go index, middle, ring, A, and then to get back, drop your index, middle, ring. Okay, so that's that. Okay, and then when we get to the second half of the song, we're going to use A chord and his friend E chord, index finger over, drop it back 1 fret and 1 string, and then raise these 2 guys up. Okay, there's your E chord, which you learned on level 1, by the way. E chord and then the A. All day long. That's not a waste of time either, by the way, just going from chord to 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 chord, because that's going to be what typically that's one of those things that messes you up as you get into more advanced music, is you don't have a good sense of how to get the chord on without thinking it through. You want to get your body where it's just automatically going to go there, and it's going to happen. All right, let's sing through it. As you guys know, I'm not a singer, so we'll do the best we can. We're going to go through from top to bottom, and remember, we'll play through measure 8, and then the key changes at measure 9. We'll play down through measure 16. We'll stop there, and we'll talk about reading that repeat. Okay, again, I'm not a singer. Pick a system over here that makes sense. Maybe you're strumming with your thumb. Maybe you're strumming with your index finger. Maybe you're plucking. Maybe you're arpeggiating. You're in 4 again. So again, if you're arpeggioing, there's got to be some factor of 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, or 1, 2, 3. 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, or 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. Whatever you want to do, let's play through. You pick a method, and we'll do it. 1, 2, ready, play. Mary had a little lamb, switch, little lamb, switch back, and little lamb. Mary had a little lamb, its fleece was white as snow. Change the whole key. Mary had a little lamb, little lamb, little lamb. Mary had a little lamb, its fleece was white as snow. And then we're going to go back and repeat that. Notice on your repeats on measure 16, there's a bracket above measure 16. It says 1. So that means the first time you come in and you're playing along, you hit that, you play into it the first time, and then you're going to go all the way back to the beginning of the song. The second time you come through, you play through 15. Don't go back into 16 because that's your first repeat. You skip 16, go to 17, and play to the end. Reading repeats is something I talk about all the time as a conductor and all the time as a musician, and we will still blow it because we just get so focusing on making the next note that we forget to look up and see where that first repeat starts. Okay. All right. So there's your chords. And again, same thing as the previous song. You can absolutely do this. You can do this. You can do this. You can do this. Lots of right-hand choices, and the left-hand choices are fairly simple. Now let's go through and let's play the melody. Again, we are going to be in first position the whole way through. If it's a 1, it's index. If it's 2, it's in the middle. If it's 3, it's a ring. There are no 4s and 5s in this song, so we should be able to just play through it correctly. Okay, start from the top. Guitar melody line only. 1, 2, 3, 4. 2, 0, 3, 0, 2, 2, 2, 0, 0, 0, 2. I lied. There's the 5s. 2, 0, 3, 0, 2, 2, 2, 2, 0, 0, 2, 0, 3, 2, 3, 4. 2, 0, 2, 0, 2, 2, 2, 0, 0, 0, 2, 0, 0, 2, 0, 2, 0, 2, 2, 2, 2, 0, 0. repeat that. Okay, so the melody, again, if you're working at level 2 officially, the two things that are going to matter at level 2 are, can I switch from chord to chord? Okay, so in this case, the first one is, can I get from D to A and back? That's an important thing that you're going to do it every day, every single day in your guitar life. You're going to play a D, that's going to be followed by an A, and then come back to D. So that's going to happen every single day. Let's just get that work done and get it over with. Also, A to E, that's going to happen all of the time as a guitarist, and so the sooner we just get good at it. Do we want to play Mary Had a Little Lamb? No, we don't want to play Mary Had a Little Lamb. Can Mary Had a Little Lamb help us get better at switching from those chords to the other chords and back? Absolutely. That's why you don't want to play Mary Had a Little Lamb. You want the skill set that comes along with Mary Had a Little Lamb. So why not play it on something that's kind of easier, so that we can, when we run into that in whatever song we happen to be playing that we really do want to learn, that we've already got that skill set in our toolbox. Next thing at level 2, I'm at this point, it should be clear, I absolutely expect you to be able to play melody straight through without really losing a lot of energy through it. Like you miss a note here and there, whatever, you just jump back in. Playing melody is what separates fingerstyle guitar and classical guitar from folk music guitar and other forms of guitar, country music, for example. They are very chord based. They're focused in on singing, and they're focused in on storytelling and that stuff. It's not that we aren't focused in on that, but our emphasis is on melody and making the guitar do all of the work for us so that nothing has to come out of our mouth. It's the way you have to learn how to play guitar if you don't want to sing. And so that's what fingerstyle does for us. Okay. Next thing then, at level 2, I'm introducing you to tough acts. I'm all of a sudden not expecting you to be able to play it. So let's walk through the tough acts, and then we'll play through the song twice. Okay. So first thing, grab your D chord. You're going to play 4 strings. Then you're going to lift up your middle finger to get the 0. We're on the tough acts line, and then 0, 2, 3. And then we're going to hit a 0. And then we're going to put that D chord, the middle finger back down, play chord, 2, chord. Now on measure 3, we'll switch to the A chord and play that 3 times. And then we're going to play a D chord. Now you got to add your pinky up on 5. This hurts. Okay. Then you go to D chord. Middle finger up. 3 strings. Hit a 0. And then some D chords. Go to your A chord at measure 7. Roll your ring finger down to get the 2. Come back up. And then back to the D chord. 3, 2, 0. Notice I didn't move anything there, and I've got a lot of music out of it. Okay. Now, measure 9, you switch to your A chord. You're going to play 4 strings going down. Lift up your ring finger to get the 0. Play 3 strings. Hit the 0 again. Put your ring finger back down. Go to the next page. Switch to E chord. You're going to play 5 strings going down. And then you're going to go back to your A chord, 4 strings, starting on your A string. And then 5 strings. Okay, same thing, same chord. Ring finger up. 3 strings. Ring finger still up, and now put it down. 4 of these. Switch to your E chord. Add your pinky to get that 2. And then go back to your A chord, 3 strings. And now if you're doing the first ending, it's 2, 0, 2, and then you're going to need to jump right back into the first page right at the top there. But if it's the second time through, you skip 16 and you play 17. Now, of course, 17 is almost identical to 16. 2, 2, 2, and then at measure 18, okay, you're going to strum out to the end of the song. Okay, we're going to play through twice. Okay, if you are new to this, thumb down is the way to go. If you are working on getting better at it, you might want to think about playing with your claw. I think I'm going to play the first time with my thumb and the second time with my claw. Okay, here we go. 1, 2, twice through. To the top. Second ending. Okay. There's a whole lot of skill sets and a whole lot of stuff that's going to come up in much more complex forms down the road. But if you can get your toolbox set up on this one, then you don't have to worry about it down the road because you're already going to know what 0222 means and how to handle that when you get there. Or, switching. I'm plucking, but all of a sudden I'm supposed to hit 5 strings. Well, I've got to drop one of those strings. Which one's it going to be? You've already learned how to do that in Mary Had a Little Lamb, and that way you take that on to your more complex stuff. Okay, I think that's what I need to tell you about in Mary Had a Little Lamb. Okay, so let's move on. Let's go on to our final song of the day. What time is it? Oh, taking too much time. All right, good thing we're not going to do all 4 today. All right, let's grab Elvis. Plaisir d'amour. All right. There's a whole lot of stuff to talk about in this, and we're not going to get to all of it today, but we got all week to get together, right? And so let's talk today. Let's focus in on the chords. The melody is not a major challenge. Wise men say only fools rush in, but I can't help falling in love with you. Now, on your piece of paper, you don't have the lyrics. If the lyrics will help you, you send me an email and say, can you send me the Plaisir d'amour with the lyrics on there? I don't post the lyrics up online because those are still under copyright, okay? The melody itself here is an old melody, and so it's not under copyright. And so Plaisir d'amour, public domain. If I add in Elvis's words, now it's under copyright. Now we got an issue. So if you need the words and you feel like that'd be helpful, just send me an email and I'll send that to you. Truth is, you don't really need that. You know basically how the song goes. And so just use your prior knowledge to make this song go well. Hardest part will be measures 9 through 13, and we'll get to those real quick. So let's go ahead and play the melody just so we get the whole song, got a general sense of how it goes. And then we're going to talk about these nasty little chords here. Okay, from the top. Grab your 3 to get started. Guitar line. 1, 2, 3, 4. 3, 5, 3, 0, 2, 3, 2, 0, 2, 0, 2, 3. 0, 2, 3, 2, 0, 3. Now you're going to go back and repeat that. We're not going to repeat right now, but that's what you're going to do when we get to the end of 8. You're going to repeat. Now, when we come back through, we just play on into measure 9. So let's start at 9. Okay, and this, you're going to slow this down, but it's going to feel a lot more crazy. And here's the truth, guys. These next three measures, 9, 10, 11, they're all identical. You are going to have to memorize them. Okay, so you just got to memorize 9, and then you will be able to play 10 and 11. But you're not going to be able to look at this paper and find your way around the fretboard. It's way too all over the place. Okay, so the first two notes are 2, 2, and then 5, 9, 7. Do that again. Go grab both 2s. 5, 9, 7. One more time. Okay. And I'm recommending probably just grabbing this and then moving after that. Okay, it does stop the sound, so you could probably think also about possibly using your pinky. But you're still going to have to stop the sound there anyway. Seems like it makes more sense to stop it after the 2s, but you'll figure out which way you prefer doing it. And it will change a tiny bit when we get to the tough acts, because you're going to be doing right. So I do still think you're probably going to want to have your index finger on 5, which allows you to your pinky to get to 9, and then either your ring finger or your index finger to play these 7s. And so probably be thinking about grabbing the 2s with that index finger and then jumping on the 5 to the index. Okay, and then, so that's those 3 measures. You really are going to have to memorize measure 9, and then you just duplicate it in 10 and 11. You're not going to be able to look at the paper and pull that off. Then when we get to 12, okay, you finished up on 7, and then you're going to play 2 5s, 2 5 2 3. I'm guessing playing in second position makes the most sense. That way your 4-finger pattern has every note covered. 5, 5, 5, 2, 5, 2, 3, and then it's through the whole thing. And then the last half of the song repeats the same exactly note for note the beginning of the song. So we're in good shape there. Let's go to measure 14 and play 1, 2, 3, 4. 3, 5, 3. Oh, 2, 3, 2. Oh, 2, oh, 2, 3. Oh, 2, 3, 2. Oh, 3. And that's a real long note. Just going to ride it out forever. A lot of stuff going to be going on in the tough acts part of this. This piece is actually an official full-blown fingerstyle piece, in the sense that pretty much on every single 8th note you're going to be doing something when we get to the tough acts section, okay, which we're not going to get to today. So you now know the melody. Let's talk about the chords real quick, and then you guys we'll have tonight to mess around with this. We will get into the tough acts tomorrow for sure. Okay, D chord. Wise. Okay, and that's straightforward, right out of book 1. Wise. Now you got an F sharp minor. It's an E minor moved up 2 frets and a bar on 2. So bar on 2, and then an E minor shape on 4. Then it's really hard to do. And then you've got B minor, which is an A minor chord moved up, bar on 2. Say. Only G chord, fools, D chord, rush, and then A7 in, for G chord, A7, can't, D chord, help, E chord, E minor, falling in love, there's a D chord, back to A7, with D chord. You play it again. Let's go back to the top. Let's play it together. Remember, those bar chords are going to sound terrible when you first start. You don't lose your mind over it. You know basically what you're supposed to do is kind of sound like clunk, 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 and you're not going to worry about that. It takes years, sometimes a few months to get a bar chord together. Don't lose your sleep over it. Okay, they will come together. You just have to keep playing and showing up and knowing that someday the bar chords are going to work. From the top, 1, 2, 3, 4. Wise men say only fools rush in 2, 3, 4, for I can't help falling in love. Blew it. With you, 2, 3, 4, F sharp minor again. Like a river flows surely to the sea, darling, so it goes. Back to F sharp 7, F sharp minor. Some things, and you got a B7 in here. That's kind of a newer one that we haven't talked about yet. Are meant to E minor, B, and then A7. And then we got the same chords as we started with. Take my hand, take my whole life too, for I can't help falling in love with you, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay. Now, the tough axe is actually easier to play than the chords, just so you know. Okay, the tough axe is going to be much more playable than just playing through the chords. It's one of these places where we, as instrumentalists, we start thinking about, all right, that's not fun to play. It's not fun to listen to. The singer's fine. That's easy singing, right? It's the playing of the chords that gets really complicated and frustrating. And so I will tell you, the tough axe is actually easier than just strumming the chords. And so, but these chords are going to come up in your life. You are absolutely going to be playing that F sharp minor a lot in your life. You're absolutely going to be playing B minor a lot in your life. So let's get to business of just trying to figure out how to get them on, making a terrible sound, and then moving on to whatever comes after that. But just work on full bar, E minor shape in front of it. You notice I'm often putting my middle finger. If it's not doing anything, I'm going to smash down the bar. Like a river. And then this chord, C sharp 7, that's not going to come up that often. It just sounds beautiful, right? All sevens. It sounds really nice. So the F sharp 7, the B minor, and this B7 are coming up all of the time. They're beautiful chords. They're a pain in the butt when you first learn, a pain in the rear end when they first show up. You will be able to play them. We just got to build up a massive amount of hand strength in order to do that. And again, that plays directly into the size of your guitar. If you got a giant guitar, you're going to have to work up quite a bit harder to get those chords on versus a smaller guitar. And hence why I play a smaller guitar, because I hate missing them. And so that's enough for today on that. That's a lot of class today, and so I'm sorry for pulling you guys into almost a full hour of guitar. That's too much. What we'll do tomorrow, we will play through 3 Blind Mice, and we'll play through Mary Had a Little Lamb, and then we'll focus in on Plaisir tomorrow. And those of you guys who want to have Remember Me will have already emailed me, and I will have already sent it back to you, so we'll also be looking through that one. That one, for the most part, is absolutely beautiful and readily playable, except for a few moments that are like, are you kidding me? As you guys know, I do arrange these with the purpose of getting them playable, not so much necessarily always being note for note dead on exactly what the original says. And the nice part is this, I was able to preserve all of the original chords. I think it sounds really cool, but it's not real easy. It's in a couple of plot parts. So, but it'll be worth it. So that's it for today, guys. That's a lot. That was too much for 1 hour. And so tomorrow we'll dive into Plaisir some more, and then we'll also really dive into the tough acts. That's where this song is going to jump out of your guitar. You're going to be like, yeah, I'm really glad that I'm working on this. Level 3 doesn't mean it's not level 4, right? Level 3 is hard stuff as well. So the real thought process behind you guys getting here is, hey, if I can get them through level 1 and level 2, from 3 on, life is good, right? The songs are maybe a little more modern, a little cooler on level 4, but there's all this great stuff in level 3 that's totally worth playing, and so hopefully you'll have fun with it. Ellen, thanks for being here. Vic, thanks for being here. Got a couple other fellas up here in the widget that I'm glad you guys are here as well. And it's fun to watch the widget because we have people come in and out and in and out and in and out because it says guitar. And so the guitar shoppers, they're always just wandering the internet trying to find, I don't know, the secret to guitar. Here's the secret to guitar. Practice a little bit at home, show up for lessons. That's it. That's the 2 secrets. Okay. And I know every guitarist that I know that's been playing well for a long time have done those 2 things. Practiced and shown up. And showing up is the hard part. Showing up right here, that's the hard part. And if you can do that, you're going to be a fine player. Okay. Maybe not tomorrow, but the day after that, you'll be awesome. Apologize. I'm getting maskne. And so I have a face full of weird little things that are happening because of wearing a mask. I'm going to figure out how to stop that. Hope you guys are staying safe, and I will see all of you tomorrow for more of the same. Please email me if you want to work on Remember Me, and I'll send you the little form and all of that stuff we do to kind of protect those copyright issues for us and for the guy who wrote the song. We want you to know how to play the song, but we don't want you to be taking money out of his pocket either. So, or I guess it's a male and a female who wrote that one. So have a wonderful day. Be safe, and I will talk to you guys tomorrow.